Do you and your partner keep arguing about the same thing with no resolution? The same thing over and over. Well, we're going to fix that today. We're going to get to the bottom of it. So every communication breakdown can be traced back to one thing, one of three things. Sometimes it can be traced back to all three things. First of all, do you both want to fix the problem? One of you may not. That's called will. Do y'all have the will to fix it? Second of all is clarity. Do we agree that we're both going to try to fix this? Do we both agree on what we're trying to fix? Because you may not. Finally, what might be the problem is a skill deficit. Do you even know how to fix it? If one of the three things is true, then that's going to tell you what you need to do to get to the bottom of it, and if you need to move on or if it's fixable at all. So let's talk about will for a minute. Do both of the people involved in the conflict even want a resolution to it? What does will even look like in a person? Well, it's the willingness to put in the effort, the willingness to change, the desire for a resolution. And finally, there has to be some emotional investment towards fixing the problem. Because honestly, if will is missing, that means one of you has given up. It can also mean that somebody knows what to do but refuses to do it. It can include avoidance or apathy or resistance. Sometimes it can just be lack of energy, or it can look like the I don't care energy. I just don't care. The truth is, you can't fix the problem if one of y'all doesn't even want to fix it. You have to want to fix the problem. Because if that will to fix the problem is missing, it's exhausting. You're just going to go round and round with no real resolution. You're going to keep fighting about the same things. So, what action do you take? Well, you accept reality instead of forcing change. You can't force someone into wanting to change. You can't force someone into wanting to keep the relationship. And then once you know that truth, you really have to decide on your next move. So then you have to check for clarity. And clarity is basically figuring out if both of you have the same goal in mind. Are you even trying to achieve the same outcome? Clarity looks like shared goals, or it can look like a clear understanding of the problem, an agreement on what success looks like for reaching a resolution to the problem. How do you know if you've even reached a resolution to the problem? So when clarity is missing, you really have misaligned goals, misaligned intentions. Maybe one of you wants peace, or maybe someone just wants to win. Both of your goals in this disagreement need to align in order for there to be resolution. And that's the hard truth. If your goals don't align, you are not going to resolve the conflict. It's just going to keep going and going and going around in circles, pulling you in opposite directions. So, what do you do? What action do you take then? Well, first of all, both of you need to figure out what the heck are we trying to accomplish here? Look for alignment, true alignment, not just agreement, not just going along with it to keep someone happy or to keep the peace. And then finally, probably the one I like best is the skill. Do you both have the skills? Do y'all even have what it takes to get through the resolution? Does somebody have a skill deficit? Or maybe both of you have a skill deficit and y'all need to figure out the how to part, because you may not actually know how to fix the problem. Skill can look like better communication. It can look like emotional regulation. It can look like conflict resolution tools. It's the ability to listen and respond and just not approach your partner or whoever you're in conflict with an attack. Finally, it's the ability to respond and listen and repair. Because when skill is missing from this equation, you can want resolution, the will. You both can have the will all day long. Y'all can have the same goal. Y'all can have clarity, but it's still going to end badly. The conversations are still going to blow up. Miscommunication is going to still continue to happen. And your emotions, those are going to override the logic. The emotional part of your brain is going to take over, not the logical part of your brain. Good intentions don't equal good outcomes without skill. That's where professional mental health help comes in really handy, because it helps you both learn the skills to keep each other from feeling attacked. And it involves work. It's not easy. And it's really not easy when your emotion takes over and all the tools that you've learned that day can just go out the window because your emotions are kind of taken over and you forget about the tools that you've learned and to use the tools whenever you're mad or hurt or upset. We forget about those tools. And in the meantime, that's where some grace comes in, because skills take time to build. They require repetition. Skills can break down under stress. And really, when you're emotional, you just forget all about your skills. So give grace during that process, during the learning process. Focus on consistent practice, because practice makes progress. We're not looking for perfection here right from the start. We're looking for progress. When you can recognize that they're actually putting in the effort and really trying, then that's so helpful to giving them grace. So when all three of those ingredients are present, wow. When you have the will, when you both desire to want to fix it, you have the clarity. You can both see the goal. And when you have the skill and know what to do and how to do it, the outcome will be phenomenal. So the other night, my teenage daughter, she was really emotional and she was mad. And she was just riding off of emotion only. And she said some things to me that weren't very nice, that were really unacceptable. So after that blow up, when she calmed down and was able to finally talk to me, I figured out she has the will. She wants to fix it. She doesn't want to explode. She wants to live in harmony and peace, just like me. We're both in agreement with the goal. We both have the same goal. So we both have clarity. The clarity's there. But what's missing is the skill, because she's a teenager and she just hasn't had a lot of practice with emotional regulation and utilizing skills. She just goes with it. So we have a counseling appointment now, and I'm so excited that she gets to build her skills, because really the problems that occur are just opportunities for improvement. This is an opportunity for her to improve her skills. And this is an opportunity for me to also show her some grace whenever she's not utilizing the skills that she learns through counseling. So let's say there's a scenario where there's a husband and wife and they just keep fighting over the same thing all the time. He won't sweep the floor, or he leaves the toilet seat, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, whatever the problem is. And if the wife is saying, you never sweep, you never do this or that, why don't you hug me anymore? He's instantly going to feel that and receive that as an attack on him. But when we really break it down, they might both want the same thing. They will both want to stay together and stay married forever. They both have the will to do it. They're willing to put whatever they have to into this relationship to fix it. But the breakdown is they don't know how to fix it. They don't have the skills. A skill deficit is such an easy fix. All you have to do is learn the skills. And remember to utilize the skills in the middle of a conflict. Because when both people and all three ingredients are in line with each other, it's so beautiful. This works in relationships, in parenting, work environments, volunteer teams. It even works with yourself. So the next time a problem comes up between you and another individual, y'all really have to define it and ask yourselves, is this a will problem, a clarity problem, or a skill problem? Answering that question alone can change everything.